Are you fed up with your paycheck-to-paycheck life, constantly scrambling to pay unexpected bills every month? Well, you're not alone. According to a study conducted by CNBC in 2023, over 62% of adult Americans still live paycheck to paycheck. Surprise? For many of you out there, financial life seems like a hamster wheel. You work hard, you never seem to get ahead, and at the end of the month, you're just one unexpected bill away from another financial crisis. I've been there myself. I had my power cut off, no food in the fridge, and struggled to survive. Amidst all of the financial chaos, I used to question whether there was a way to break this cycle and achieve the proverbial financial freedom. Is this how it's going to be for the rest of my life? Is there a way out? And of course there is. So in this video, I will break down the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle and provide you with concrete measures and solid techniques to not only break the cycle, but also to improve your overall financial life. Like many of you out there today, I used to think that making money is the hardest part. It never occurred to me that managing my money and spending it on the right expenses would be even harder than that. Because of my lack of financial knowledge, before I knew it, I was stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, struggling for dear life, trying to manage expenses every single month. So how can you break the cycle just like me and achieve control over your financial life? Hi, my name is Tasvir Mirza. I'm a realtor and a diversified investor, and you are here for your dose of entertainment. Now, how many of you watching this video right now know where every single one of your dollar off your income goes every month? I'm not talking about having a rough idea. Comment below to let me know if you keep track of money you spend and how. I started my journey towards breaking the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle by taking care of my money and making sure every dollar I spend has a purpose behind it. If you want a clear picture of where your money is going, simply keep track of every little expense. You can begin with your previous month's expenses and make a list of all that you spend on. You will see that some of the essentials and absolutely necessary expenses, and then there are some that are non-essential expenses too. You'll be shocked to encounter some of the spending habits you didn't even know about. But how can you stop spending less or think of saving when you don't even know where your money goes? Hence, the first step is to start budgeting in extensive detail. It should be a no-brainer for all of you to spend your money on necessities. What are necessities, you may ask? Food, utility, shelter, transportation? When budgeting, make sure you have enough money to cover these essentials. Can you imagine there was a time when I would spend excessively on unnecessary items only to find out that I had no money to cover my utility bills at the end of the month? Yeah, this is exactly what you don't want. So always begin with a no-compromise attitude on the essentials. Imagine the relief you will feel knowing you're keeping your family fed and lights on, there's a roof over your head, and you have gas in the car to get to work. Always remember, luxuries can wait, but essentials cannot. And one thing that is essential for YouTube is your support. Like this video below to feed the YouTube's algorithm. Now, most people fail on the first step of budgeting is when they find it difficult to identify which expenses to cut down on. That's where the budget comes in. How can you identify which of your expenses are unnecessary if there is no record of your spending? What cannot be tracked cannot be measured. As soon as you track your spending on the budget, you will clearly see the non-essential areas in which you are overly spending. I had a tendency to dine out regularly, which I never felt was an unnecessary expenses until I saw how much money I was spending on dining out. For you, it may be that unused Netflix subscriptions that you never get time for. Regardless of what is that you're spending excessively on, cut down on it. Keep a regular track and build habits to avoid that expense at any cost. Believe me or not, when I say this, life is unexpected. And it can hit you at times when you are in your worst financial condition. Just like soldiers prepare for a war at peacetime, you must be prepared for unexpected turns of events in life. Tell me, will you look for debt in case of a medical emergency? What if you could save up to start an emergency fund? A fund that will help you when you're stuck in a jam. At first, I also thought it was impossible for me to save. But as I started to track down my expenses and cut down on essential spendings, I was able to save as much as $1,000 within a month. I'm not saying you have to save as much as I did, but start low. Build your way up. Trust me, you will sleep a lot peacefully at night, knowing that there's a stack of cash waiting for you in case of emergency when you or your loved one needs it the most. Nowadays, keeping track of your money and expenses is not difficult. There are several apps and online tools available for your mobile devices. Not only do these apps help you track every bit of your budget details, but they also provide expert advices and tips on saving money. Some of the more widely used apps like Mint, YNAB, and EveryDollar. My experience with saving money was difficult, as I would save for a day or two and then end up spending on something completely unnecessary. But how did I tackle that? I found money saving challenges the most useful in this regard. You can take part in a 100 envelope challenge. Lasting 100 days, you will need to have 100 envelopes that you will number from 1 to 100. Then you will put the corresponding number inside each envelope every day for 100 days. For instance, in envelope number 1, on the first day, you'll put $1. And on the second day, you'll put $2 in the second envelope. By the end of the 100 day, you'll have an envelope's total of $5,050 saved. Other ways to effectively save money, including keeping track of your expenses and cutting down on unnecessary spending. Moreover, you can also set saving goals that you have to meet every month. One goal that I'm trying to reach is to grow this community 1,000 strong, and you can participate in this by joining the community by subscribing below. Another strategy to stop living paycheck to paycheck is to start paying back your debts. There are several ways that you can pay off your debt. If you're someone who has multiple debts to pay, you can start by paying off the smallest debt first. In this way, you won't have to reduce your spending so drastically, and at least one of your debts will be off your back. What worked for me was to have a debt repayment strategy. I calculated all my debts and allocated a fixed amount to each that I would pay off on a monthly basis. To fund that debt repayment, I cut down on expenses, and over time, I was able to eliminate the debts. Remember, the key is to remain consistent with your debt repayment strategy. If you're questioning whether you should save first or pay off your debt, I would recommend paying off your debt first. In this way, you'll be able to solve the ongoing financial problems in your life. The more you pay off, the more money you'll have to put towards your savings. If your monthly income is not enough to fulfill your needs or expenses, look for side hustles and a part-time job. In today's digital environment, you can easily start a side hustle like online surveys, dropshipping, or teaching online courses. Another key way to stop living paycheck to paycheck is to seek investment options. Allocate a part of your budget towards stock or real estate. Always choose what you're interested in and you understand. Do your research and stay up to date with the market. Living paycheck to paycheck life is common in the United States even today. However, breaking the cycle is essential to achieve financial freedom. With the right strategies, you can too manage to overcome this cycle, just like me. But if you don't change your habit of money, you won't be able to get out of poverty. What are those habits? Find them out here. Thank you for hanging out with me. See you in this video. You'll be shocked to encounter some of the spending habits you didn't even know that you didn't even know about. Imagine the relief you will feeling. Imagine the